Hello everyone and welcome back to the follow-up video. So in this video we are going to explore how we can host multiple websites in a with a different domain name on top of the same web server. I do want to give you guys a little bit of a heads up. This requires that you have your own control over your own router. Um, in my personal preference, it would be pfSense, working with a proper domain name with a proper DNS configuration so that your sites can be properly resolved on top of your network. So the first thing that we are going to do is, as you can see, I have already created sorry about that. I have already created some additional websites. To note, these additional websites are not located under our standard www root in the IIS root folder, but I have created a separate folder under C called sites, and in that folder I have several sites 1, 2, 3, and 4 on top of the default website that we have. So go ahead, create it, and it really doesn't matter what you call it, because this is I just want you to understand that this is inside of our network. Okay, we are not yet going outside of our network, so this is just going to be resolved for something that you control at home. Nobody outside of your home network is going to be able to view it in the same way that you do. Now I just want to show you guys the domain. You have site number 2 is called thisdomain.local. Site number 3 is called uh, forum.mydomain.local, and site number 4 is called mydomain.site. So now that we have the clarification of actually, you know what, just for um, mydomain.site, and what did I call that? The site number 2. I just want to make sure that, okay, this domain.local. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that the domain is relatively different, just so that we can show the power of IIS in working in teamwork with pfSense domain name resolution, and how it maps the different websites that you could be hosting. Um, so now that we have all of these, I'm going to go ahead and switch over to pfSense so that we can continue the rest of our work in pfSense. Okay, and we are back in pfSense, and this is where, in my opinion, the magic happens. So like I said in the previous video, I am really excited to talk about this because it's gonna give you guys a little bit of an insight into how the different types of operating system and the different types of functionality interact with each other. And I just, sorry, I'm finding that really exciting. So you have seen already that the 4 different website aliases that we have set up have a different domain name. We have our local website, which is localhost. Then we have our website number 2, which is called thisdomain.local. We have website number 3, which is called forum.mydomain.local, and the 4th domain, which is called mydomain.site. Now, even though they are on the same web server, we need a DNS, um, kind of like a police officer who knows who's what and where it is located, so that they can properly navigate the traffic which is looking for that information. And in this case, pfSense and the DNS resolver is exactly what is playing the part of the police officer. So we are in pfSense, we are logged in, and the first thing we want to do, we want to go under services and DNS resolver. Once we are in DNS resolver, we can go down to the bottom. Sorry, these are just websites that I have not yet deleted, but I was supposed to at some point, and so please bear with me. So we are in the DNS resolver general settings, and we're going to go all the way to the bottom where you guys can see host overrides. We are going to go ahead and add each one of our separate websites. So this domain, and then domain local, and the IP address for me is 2.192.168.2.283, and the description for that is site number 2 located on IIS. And then we are just going to this is where um, actually we can make it pretty interesting, because under this host we can add multiple host slash domain names. So let's go ahead and add third domain, which is host name. Oh man, how was that done with a subdomain? I think subdomain had to be the folder itself, but my domain.local. Okay, let's skip the one with the subdomain and let's go to my domain, and then site, and then site number 4. Sorry, the reason why we're skipping site number 3 is because I'm having a complete brain fart as to why um, it's not the proper functionality for a subdomain. But let's get back onto the subject. So this is a computer that is not located on the virtual host, so that you can see how it interacts. So website number 2, if we type in this domain.local, we see site number 2, which is located onto our little web server located on 192.168.2.233. And as you can see, this domain.local now resolves to that website. And then the next one that we want to take a look at is my domain.site. Oh, HTTP my domain.site. As you okay, so it is really important that you specify HTTP instead of HTTPS, because for HTTPS it will look outside, as there is no certificate match. But if you specify HTTP the domain that you want it to, it's going to take you exactly to site number 4, and site number 4, as we can see, is located in the little web host that we have, the same web host, just with a different website. Um, as you can see, here it is. Site number 4 located into our web host, and then site number 4 located from a sorry, from a host elsewhere on our network, which is able to access it without a problem. I know this is kind of a quickfire introduction and quickfire way of how to do it without too much explanation, but basically what happens is once you set up these two domains, if we go back into pfSense, once you set up your two domains, which is site number 2 and site number 4, located on your IIS web host, what it is you're telling traffic as soon as it hits your router already knows where this website is located, and it just redirects it to the other host, which is holding that information, and then that host just returns that information to your router, and then that router returns the information to the PC that is requesting that information. I know it's a little bit like machine gun fed. I do apologize about that, but that's how I understood it too. It was a little kind of iffy for me too until I understood it, but now that I do understand it, it works flawlessly, and I love it. That being said, thank you very much for joining me for this quick sprint through DNS in pfSense and IIS, and I'll see you guys in the next one.